We made $2,000 wholesaling a property in just 20 minutes. Now, this is probably the smallest deal I've done, but was also one of the fastest. But it highlights a really important lesson about what to do when your systems for finding buyers and moving deals fail. Let's dive right in. If you're new to the channel, I want to thank you for checking the video out. My name is Ryan Dossey. I'm a buy and hold investor, best known for picking up 150 units in just 2 years. And our slogan around here is we keep the best and wholesale the rest, meaning the properties we really want as rentals we hold on to. Deals like this that are large projects in areas I don't like, we monetize like we did in this instance. I always think it's fun when we get you guys involved in the videos. After all, I'm on here to chat and network, not just talk at you. So in the comments below, throw out the smallest wholesale deal you've ever done and a little bit of the backstory. Let's see who has the smallest one without going negative. Ideally, you'd never go negative on a wholesale deal, but I know I have on a flip or two in my career. I'm not really gonna get into like the lead source or the notes in the CRM or anything like that too much on this one. This particular deal came off of a Google pay-per-click campaign, went into our Carrot site. Call Porter took the call and then pushed it into my CRM I use, which is Resimpli. And I'm not really gonna show you the deal or dive into it all that much because it's really kind of boring. It was a lower end property in an area that needs substantial work, or well, the area does need work. It's an area that's up and coming, but a property that needs substantial work, really just not kind of my cup of tea, not something I want to touch. Now, this was also a deal that had kind of been on the merry-go-round of wholesalers, buyers lists in Indianapolis. I think I saw 3 or 4 guys shoot this thing out, all at various different price points. Everybody was having a hard time selling it. So typically with something like this, it's like the owner's stuck at a price that's really too much and a wholesaler tries to make it work and can't, is normally what happens. But we sold this deal in less than 20 minutes. So my staff went out to look at the property. This was one of those ones that like the owner didn't even meet us. It was like it's on a lockbox or the back door is pushed in, you know, go on in, right? Not a nice property by any stretch of the imagination. And when my guys were leaving, they noticed another project going on and just struck up a conversation with the guys working there. Turns out the owner of this other renovation that was going on was there and said, well, do you guys own the one across the street? I'd like to buy it. That's simple, right? I think as investors, a lot of the time, we try to use these like systems or tools or like, well, this is how I build my buyers list, or this is how I sell my deals, or this is how I get deals under contract. People have this desire for like a way to buy a house with no human interaction. And I've always heard it described as real estate really is like a belly to belly. It is a people business. And I think as investors in kind of this technological age, we tend to forget that. Selling a deal is as simple as walking across the street and striking up a conversation with the guys who are already doing a deal. So and this isn't, I don't share this as like we're perfect with this. This is something that we're definitely working on in our own business. But our thing with our guys is like, if you're at an appointment and notice another project on the street, stop and talk to them. At a minimum, get business cards from the subs, right? Never known we're gonna need a new painter or somebody to do flooring or whatever. Or you may run into private lender that funded the project or the owner themselves and just have some really good networking going on. So a friend of mine, Brent Daniels, calls it TTP is kind of his slogan, is talk to people. And it's funny how often I've seen that to be the case. It's literally just as simple as striking up a conversation with somebody and seeing where it goes. Had the guy across the street not bought this particular property, maybe we wouldn't have been able to sell it either and we would have gotten stuck with it, right? So don't be afraid to walk up to somebody and ask what they're doing with the property, you know, ask if they're looking for more, or try to just network, right? It doesn't have to come through some like particular channel you have set up for building your buyers lists. It could literally just be as simple as exchanging business cards. The last thing I want to highlight on this deal is not to despise small deals. Our average profit on a property we choose not to keep is right at $17,500. This one, what's the phrase, like grading with the curve, or, right? This one's definitely going to drag that down a little bit. Is by no means our average profit per deal, but I'm also not at the level where I'm going to turn down $2,000, right? I mean, that pays for one of our employees' base pays, or for another marketing campaign. Shoot, last month we spent $1,700, had 42 pay-per-click leads come in. This one deal, we've paid for that campaign and had a little bit of profit on top of it, right? So don't get upset or despise small deals. You can't go broke if you're making a profit. Talk to you guys soon.